Hey everyone, I've got a story that's going to keep you hooked, and it's a tale as old as time. A guy meets a girl online, falls for her, but then the doubts creep in. You know the drill, right? But trust me, this one's got all the twists and turns of a classic thriller. So let's dive into the life of Franky, a guy who thought he found love in Thailand, but ended up with a whole lot more than he bargained for. Franky's 34, a guy from France who's always played it safe. Until one day he spots a profile on a dating app. This girl from Bangkok. She's 33, and there's something about her that grabs his attention immediately. Within minutes, she messages him, and before long, they're talking every day. First, it's just small talk, but then it gets serious. They move from the dating app to Facebook Messenger, then WhatsApp, and eventually Skype. It's like a whirlwind romance, but there's a catch. They've never met in person. Let me ask you, how many of you have fallen head over heels for someone online only to be hit with a wave of doubts later on? If you've been there, drop a comment below. Franky definitely has, and his story is about to get a lot more complicated. So, 4 months in, Franky decides it's time to meet her in person. He books a flight to Bangkok, and when he lands, she's there waiting for him at the airport. And wow, she's even more gorgeous in real life. But here's where things start to get a little strange. She doesn't just greet him and leave. Nope, she's got her bags packed and moves right into his hotel room. Yeah, you heard that right. She's got her own place, her own car, but for some reason, she's all set to shack up with him the moment he arrives. Does that seem a bit off to you? Because Franky's starting to wonder the same thing. Their first night together, it's hot and heavy, and she's not shy about it. They have sex, and if Franky hadn't stopped to grab a condom, it's pretty clear she wouldn't have insisted on one. Now, I don't know about you, but that raises some serious red flags. But Franky's smitten, so he pushes those doubts aside. I mean, this is his dream girl, right? Or is she? Throughout the week, they explore Bangkok together. But every so often, Franky gets this weird feeling that she's been to these places before. With other guys. It's hard to explain, but you know that gut feeling you get when something just doesn't add up? Yeah, Franky's got that, and it's not going away. One night they're at a restaurant, and he notices her glancing over at a foreigner sitting at another table. He asks if she knows him, and she just shrugs it off, saying she's not sure. But the look on her face says otherwise. Franky's starting to wonder, who is this girl really? What's her story? And is he just another guy on a long list of tourists she's entertained? She's got some Farang friends on Facebook, but her friends list is hidden. She likes to go clubbing in Bangkok and Pattaya, hitting up places like Levels Club and Insanity Club. But here's the kicker. She tells Franky she hasn't been to a club in a long time. Do you believe her? Because Franky's starting to doubt everything she says. Then there are the photos. Those damn photos. She's got pictures on Facebook of her at fancy hotels in Pattaya, lounging on a bed, but she's the only one in the shots. So who's taking these pictures? Who's she really with? She claims it was just her girlfriends, but come on, is that the whole truth? Franky's mind is spinning. She told him she hadn't seen any other guys since she broke up with her Thai boyfriend 5 years ago. But then he finds out she was on vacation with some guy just a couple of years ago. And what about that dinner with another guy last year? She finally admits she was with her ex-boyfriend, but only after Franky pushes her on it. So much for not seeing anyone else, right? It doesn't end there. She's got a Farang friend on Facebook that she's been liking a lot of photos from. Right around the time this guy was in Bangkok and Pattaya. She claims they never met, but how many coincidences can you chalk up to bad luck before you start seeing the pattern? Franky's head is swimming with doubts. He starts to notice more things, like how she mentioned living with her sister in a 2-room apartment, but now it seems like 2 more sisters are living there too. And what about the car, the fancy clothes, the expensive handbag? Where's the money coming from? And then there's the dating app, the one where they first met. She was still active on it, even after they started getting serious. She only stopped logging in when he called her out on it. Twice, while they were chatting on Facebook Messenger, Franky tried to call her. And both times she either took forever to answer or didn't answer at all. Only to call him back later, speaking softly, saying she was just at home watching TV. But was she really, or was she with someone else? Her phone is always face down, and she's constantly getting calls, only from women, she says. But Franky's not buying it. She's always quick to change the subject when he asks her about anything suspicious, and she gets mad when he pushes too hard. On weekends, she's oddly unavailable, even though she's usually all over him from Sunday to Thursday. What's she up to? Franky's jealousy is eating him alive, and he doesn't know what to do. He's seen the warning signs, but he's in too deep. Have you ever been so wrapped up in someone that you ignore all the red flags? It's like you're walking through a minefield knowing you might get blown up. But you can't help but keep going. That's Franky right now. He wants to trust her, but every little thing is driving him crazy. And the worst part, she's sending him mixed signals. One minute, she's all over him, telling him she misses him, and the next, she's acting distant, like she's hiding something. Franky's been with her for a week, and when he gets back to France, it's like he's left part of himself in Bangkok. He's constantly checking his phone, waiting for her messages, trying to figure out what's really going on. She's still sending him sweet messages all day, calling him on Skype every night. But that nagging doubt won't go away. And then he starts thinking, what if he just flies back to Bangkok without telling her, show up at her door, catch her off guard? Would that reveal the truth, or would it just make things worse? What would you do in his situation? Would you take that risk, or would you walk away before you get hurt even more? Franky knows he should just ask her directly, but every time he tries, she gets mad, accuses him of being paranoid. But can you blame him? With everything that's happened, how can he not be suspicious? She keeps saying she's telling the truth, that she hasn't been with anyone else, that she misses him, but actions speak louder than words, right? He's torn between his heart and his head. His heart wants to believe her, to trust that she's the woman he fell for. But his head is screaming that something isn't right. He knows he's being pulled into a web of lies, but he's already fallen in love. Or is it just infatuation? Is he just needy like some of the guys in the forum have suggested? Franky admits to himself that he's never been with a woman this beautiful before. Maybe that's clouding his judgment. He wants to believe that she's different, that she's not like the other girls. But deep down, he knows he's fooling himself. He's already invested so much in this relationship, and the thought of walking away is terrifying. But staying might be even worse. In his heart, he knows the truth. Without trust, there's nothing. But he's not ready to give up just yet. He's planning another trip to Bangkok, hoping that spending more time with her will clear up his doubts. But what if it just makes things more complicated? What if he finds out things he doesn't want to know? Would you take that chance, or would you cut your losses and move on? Franky's story is one of love, doubt, and the struggle to find the truth. He's caught in a situation that many of us have faced, when you want to believe in someone so badly, but the evidence keeps piling up against them. So, what should he do? Should he confront her and risk losing her, or should he stay silent and hope for the best? In the end, it's up to Franky to decide what's more important, his peace of mind or holding on to a relationship that's built on shaky ground. But one thing's for sure, whatever decision he makes, it's going to change his life forever. So, what do you think? Should Franky fly back to Bangkok and surprise her? Or should he trust his gut and walk away before it's too late? Let me know in the comments. And if you've ever been in a situation like this, I want to hear your story. Because at the end of the day, we've all been there, caught between love and doubt, trying to figure out what's real and what's not. And sometimes the hardest person to be honest with is ourselves.